So hello guys, what's up and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. In our previous video, we opened up on the AY documentary and we went all the way back to the days of humble beginnings. How he passed through school, the Delta State University, orphaned, hustling and fending for himself, and graduated after spending about 8 years in school. Started working as Alibaba's personal assistant, got his big breakthrough with Night of 1,000 Laughs, proceeded to launch his talent hunt show, AY Open Mic Challenge, and then exploded into wealth and major stardom with the AY Live Comedy Show. If you are yet to watch that video, it is incumbent that you do, because it's going to give you the whole picture to this one. So pause this one, go watch that one, and then come back to this. Now, you will recall that I gave us a sneak peek into how he met Mabel 22 years ago in 2004 when he was still on the streets hustling, and how they got married 4 years after in 2008. In today's video, we are going to be wrapping up with this story and finding out how we ended up where we are today, where that almost 20-year marriage is no more, and Mabel now being in the arms and the warm, loving embrace of another man. So in that video, the first one, we discussed extensively who AY is. Let us start with Mabel today. Mabel Makung Ni Wannebu was born on the 30th of March 1986. Oh yes, she just celebrated her big 40 a few weeks ago. She was born in 1986 to an Edo mother, the late Mrs. Rose Temieton Eyison Wannebu, who passed on last year, God rest her soul. But that name, Eni Eyison Temi Eton, is that Edo or Delta? I know there used to be one big bundle back in the days. So is that name Edo State or Delta State? Let us know down in the comment section. So her mother Rose and an Igbo dad from Anambra State. And just like her husband AY, she was also raised in Delta State. Mabel attended the Delta State University, Abraka, where she obtained a BSc degree in business administration, and then proceeded to the University of London for her master's, where she studied arts. She is the MD CEO of Midas Interiors Limited and has 2 doctorate awards from the Commonwealth University and the University of Azteca, respectively. Hence the name Dr. Mabel. So no, she's not a medical doctor. The doctor prefix title in her name is honorary. Before we continue with this video, a quick reminder, just a second there. If you're new here or seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching us without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button down there. Give this video a big thumbs up. Drop your thoughts down in the comment section and stay glued, for we have so much more coming your way. And hello, in today's video, I'm not only going to ask you to subscribe to this channel, Nezeville, I'm also inviting you to subscribe to this wonderful music channel, Timeless Heart Tunes. Come on guys, I want you to show me your love there and take the channel to 1,000 subscribers. There you can have access to really amazing music that you can listen to when you're driving, when you're doing your chores, from soul, reggae, R&B, wedding music. There are so many variety of music that you can enjoy. And guess what? I am offering all my subscribers from Nezeville free use, non-copyrighted use to those music. So if you want to use it for your YouTube channel, your reels, whatever you want to use it for, you can go there and download it and use it for free without having to deal with copyright. So just imagine having access to over 1,000 different kinds of tunes just for you without having to worry about copyright or getting struck, getting a strike. So please subscribe to the channel, get us to 1,000 subscribers there, and enjoy all our beautiful music. If you're going to do that, let me know down in the comment section. Thank you so much for your constant love and support. So let's proceed here. So yes, Mabel is an entrepreneur and an interior designer extraordinaire. Now I must clarify here. When I say Mabel is an interior designer extraordinaire, I do not mean the type that you say, madam, how many yards of cotton go cover this window? Make you call your boys, them make them take measurements, make them measure them. I drop half now. After installation, I pay you balance. That is not the type of interior designer that I am talking about. I mean, Mabel is into luxury home furnishing, government projects, space planning, residential interior designs for high net worth individuals, and bourgeois decorative styling. So you go don't chop belly full before you call her. She is also into brand imaging and public events managing, and she is really creative and gifted in her craft. So while her husband AY was demonstrating his own talent and creativity on stage, entertaining people and selling out shows, Mabel was demonstrating hers as CEO Midas Interiors, giving exquisite facelifts to homes and offices. They were both doing very well in their respective careers. So shortly after they got married in November 2008, they welcomed their first child in 2009, a beautiful bouncing baby girl called Michelle. Such a cutie, split image of Dada. Mabel and AY's marriage, of course, had so many beautiful, exciting, electrifying and heartwarming moments, and they will constantly take to social media to share these cherished moments together. They would celebrate their love openly, especially on special days like birthdays or anniversaries. On their 12th wedding anniversary, for example, AY took to his Instagram to post this. It's been a meaningful 12 years out of the 16 years of knowing you. At Mabel, your love has been my strength through difficult times. Your genuine care has always been my spirit to live and work extra hard for us all. Your tears and smiles are my motivation to make you happier every day. Having you by my side forever is my only wish on this special moment. Happy 12th year anniversary, my love. Forever together. And Mabel responded, so much we have been through together in the last 12 years of marriage and 16 years of knowing each other. But through it all, we have stayed strong and committed to loving each other more as the days go by. It's not by our power nor might, but by the Spirit of God Almighty. Happy anniversary to us. Tagging her husband. On the occasion of their 13th wedding anniversary, in similar vein, AY took to social media to say this. He penned a lot of beautiful things, and he said, the way you always go the extra mile to make me feel loved is one thing I would always adore you for. Thank you for making my life better every single day. Today, I am promising you that all my dreams shall be about making yours come true. Happy 13th anniversary. Even on their 15th wedding anniversary, AY took to his socials to say this. It's been 20 amazing years of knowing each other, 15 years of marital hustle and bustle, occasional sweetness and bitterness, pains and gains. In this, our first 15 years anniversary, I wish us both more love, strength, patience, tolerance, and happiness to be able to celebrate many more 15 years anniversaries together. I love you, at Mabel. So AY would always take to social media to shout out to the world and tell them how not only fantastically breathtaking his wife is, but how she is so hardworking, so calm and so peaceful. How much peace and stability she brings to his life. In this post he made to celebrate her on Mother's Day, he said, "I am blessed in every sense to be married to you because you have brought so much stability, peace and happiness in my life," which they say are the three primary needs of a man: peace, stability, happiness in my life, which is so precious. Happy Women's Day. You know, AY never failed to tell the world how much of a gem his wife was. And he not only presented to be a doting husband, he also presented to be an incredibly amazing dad. He will constantly share pictures and videos of himself bonding with and loving upon his daughter. There were such comforting sights, and their family lifted spirits. The way they loved on each other, it was just a breath of fresh air. Seeing this young, good-looking couple who knew each other, loved each other, and believed in each other long before the fame and the fortune, and how much both of them have grown respectively and collectively. Their love and marriage was deeply reassuring to a lot of people. But despite all of these beautiful highlights, AY and Mabel's marriage also suffered serious episodes of trials. The first major trial that AY and Mabel's marriage was hit with was the trial of infertility. Now, after the birth of their first daughter, their first child, Michelle, in 2009, AY and Mabel struggled to have another child for 13 years to no avail. You see, children can be a major point of strain in marriages. Their absence, their presence, and their demise. If you are married, watching me, or hoping to be married someday, I want you to listen. Listen to this very well. Number one, the absence of a child. Struggling to have a baby. Look, you can look for material things, you can look for money, you can look for a job, you can look for capital for a business, you can look for a house, but pray not to look for a baby. That is one of the major stressors that can ever hit a marriage. Infertility comes with increased anxiety, depression, emotional distress, and marital tension. There could be feelings of blame and inadequacy between the parties, where one party feels like the other party is not putting enough effort, is not showing enough interest in the subject. Especially the women feeling the man is not. Now, you talk about the financial strain from countless fertility treatments, the mental trauma. You go from one hospital to the other. Young doctors, old doctors, inexperienced doctors, any kind of persons will tell you, open your leg, drop your panties, open your legs. Doctors going in and out of your private area. Sex becomes mechanical, not pleasurable anymore. You're chasing dates and ovulation windows. The period comes, you're crying. You're not mentally okay. It can put enormous strain and pressure on a marriage. Looking for a child, the absence of a child. Number two, the presence of a child or of children. Now, here you're dealing with disagreements over parenting styles, unequal division of responsibilities, where one person feels that they're overworked, they're doing a huge percentage of the work, and the other person is just lounging. It can lead to reduced couple times and intimacy, exhaustion from the demands of raising children. It can test the marriage, the presence of children. The number 3, the loss of a child. If that marriage is not strong, with emotionally intelligent individuals that love each other. Remember, I didn't just say love, because love sometimes in marriage cannot be enough, will not be enough. I said emotionally intelligent individuals that love each other. The loss of a child can lead to a marriage hitting the rocks, because there could be difference in grieving styles causing misunderstanding. The woman will be feeling like the man does not just get it, he doesn't understand her pain. As the mother, the very one who wore the shoes, who bore the pain, bringing the child into the world. While the man might handle his grief, might be handling his grief in a different way that the woman will interpret as insensitive. He might want another baby quicker while the woman is still dealing with the hurt of losing one. Misunderstandings, emotional disconnection. The loss of a child, if not handled well, can break a marriage. So yes, the presence, the absence, and the loss of children can hit a marriage hard. Parents, take notes. So when you find yourself in these situations, you know how to manage it. So AY and Mabel went through the 3 trials: absence, presence, and loss of children in their marriage. And after 13 whole years struggling, suffering, going through hell and back to have another baby, they eventually welcomed their second child, a beautiful baby girl that is copy and paste. She came on the 18th of January 2022. AY was so happy. He ran to this store and got a bouquet of flowers and balloons, took it to his wife at the hospital. Mabel also was ecstatic. She took to social media to share her trauma and her testimony. She said, "This will definitely trigger my emotions. The plan was to close, open, and make it all disappear. But then again, I thought to myself, Mabel, you have to encourage someone out there. 3 miscarriages with no medical explanations as to the reasons why. It was the same pattern as before. Every single thing that happened with others happened again, only this time more. But I was determined to hold on to God and not fail. Anal bleeding, threatened miscarriage, difficulty in breathing. I wasn't psychologically and mentally stable, and that was the hardest part for me. My emotions were all over the place. Taking a deep breath in and out to stop myself every time I felt the urge to break down and cry. Struggling within, not to blame myself for not protecting and fighting for the survival of the babies I lost. Placenta separation, weak uterus. Truthfully, I was exhausted. So it was really a lot for her, and of course for him, and of course for the marriage. Now that was the trial of infertility. Another major strain that AY and Mabel's marriage faced was the tragedy of loss of physical property, their home. Now you will recall that sometime around August in 2023, AY and Mabel lost their home. Their tastefully furnished multi-million naira mansion, hundreds of millions of naira mansion, was gutted down by fire, burnt down to the ground to rumbles. Not a single pin was saved. See, have you ever lost a phone? A phone, just a piece of mobile device. Have you ever misplaced your phone before? The pain, the confusion, the heaviness in your chest, as if someone died The denial, the heartache you feel when you remember all the pictures and contacts and all the information that got lost. How you lose sleep and how your mouth dries and you can't swallow spit. Now that is just a phone. So imagine losing your whole home with every single thing inside. That is a major disaster, and it can shake the stability of a marriage. It can bring disagreements about spending priorities during recovery periods. It can bring about blame, whose fault it was and whose fault it wasn't. I told you about that treadmill you plugged there, that one day I told you, blame. It can bring emotional exhaustion. It can bring shock and grief over lost properties and erased memories. Because the family has been disrupted, and the life disruptions can be emotionally overwhelming, increasing pressure and conflicts between couples. And if that marriage is already weak or strained, such marriages get even more vulnerable, because that stress or that pressure will further compound those unresolved or existing problems in the marriage. AY and Mabel's marriage went through that tragedy, but somehow they managed to overcome. The third, can we call it the single stab that brought about the fatality, or was it death by 1,000 stabs? The third, the issue of alleged persistent infidelity. Throughout the years, AY's marriage has faced repeated turbulence linked to rumors of infidelity. We will recall that on the 23rd of February 2016, news got out that while AY was abroad, his wife packed all her belongings and left their matrimonial home and moved out due to allegations of persistent and recurring infidelity. It was reported that when AY got back, he tried to patch things up, brought his wife back, apologized and begged, promising to turn a new leaf. And remember that he came out with a statement to the media then saying that his wife's move was just temporary, that they wanted to fumigate the house. It was due to fumigation, if you can remember back then, many years ago, that it wasn't due to infidelity or marital crisis. But the truth, just like pregnancy, always eventually announces itself. The very next year, after Mabel left their home and came back, that AY was saying that it was fumigation that took her out. The very next year, on the 12th of June 2017 precisely, Mabel took to Instagram like a wounded lion who couldn't conceal the bleeding anymore to cry out, calling out skincare expert and entrepreneur Frida Francis, who is the ex-girlfriend of musician Yaya. She posted this: "I think I have had enough of the ridiculing. Frida Francis, stay away from my family, and I mean it." Now, when Mabel was warning Frida openly and publicly to stay away from her family, do not get it twisted. She was not talking about her daughter, her child. Her family here was stay the hell away from my husband. Mabel will go ahead to release chats purportedly had between AY and Frida, where her husband was clearly insinuating that they were having a deep sexual affair. This is the chat that Mabel published, that she screenshot from her husband's phone between her husband and Frida. Frida said to AY, "You know I got nothing but love for you too. If no be say matter be as ever be, you know say na only..." She winked. AY blew a kiss and said, "I beg, I still want slack your ponyo if you be woman." I think this one was from If you be woman, that means this is Frida telling AY that I still want slack your ponyo. Please, I don't know the meaning of ponyo. If you do know, just help me out here and drop down in the comment section. Frida sends to AY, I beg, I want still slack your ponyo if you be woman. And he responded, if it is the ponyo you want, come and take it. In Don Jazzy's voice, she laughed. Hey, bro, come and collect. Yeah. And he responded, if you give me, I go collect with the highest depth of prolonged emotions. And then she responded laughing, I love you, die. Oh my God. And this message went on and on. So when AY attended Frida's baby shower, the father of the child was unknown, and then they shared these pictures of themselves online. Mabel just couldn't take it anymore. It is reported that she had to endure unbearable episodes of infidelity from her husband, and she was losing her mind. She came out to social media to release these chats, but miraculously, somehow, they reconciled after that episode, and Mabel deleted all those chats and messages. But you see, if there is a pain point in a marriage and there is no resolve by the perpetrator or perpetrators to ensure that it goes away, it will keep rearing its ugly head, and it will eventually ruin that marriage. And I hope that you know that when I say ruin, it is not only when a marriage ends in divorce that shows that the marriage is ruined. Two people can be in a ruined, miserable marriage together, deceiving themselves, maybe due to religion or culture or for whatever reason, putting up appearances and resenting each other in a sexless, loveless marriage, living parallel lives. That is no marriage. And just because they are cohabiting under the same roof, that marriage is ruined. That is no marriage. So if you are watching me and you know that you are doing something that is hurting your partner and threatening that marriage, and your solution, instead of changing and turning a new leaf, is expecting your partner to accept it and deal with it and get used to it, it will ruin your marriage, I promise you. We cannot tell in this case if AY and Mabel's marriage ended purely or only solely due to infidelity, or it was that infidelity that ruined this marriage. But I just want to seize this opportunity to speak to everyone watching. If we are married, if you are married, we all know the major pain points in our marriages that keep coming up. And if that problem is coming from you watching me, I want to implore you, do everything within your power to stop it. You cannot claim you love your children and you are presenting in your marriage triggers that will threaten their stability and threaten the family unit. The other day we covered Angel's story. I didn't give my opinion in that video, but it is obvious what happened to that girl. A lack of strong family structure, the absence of a father and a solid father figure. You know, look at this small baby. After waiting 13 years to be born, before she could clock 2, her parents had already divorced, had gone their separate ways. Tell me what bigger gift that AY and Mabel could give that little baby than the gift of seeing her, watching her mommy and daddy together growing up in love. They do not buy the confidence, pride and joy that brings in the market. There is no amount of money that can compensate for that baby would miss. So if it is infidelity, if it is senseless pride and arrogance, if it is over complaining as a woman, you are so finicky, you can never be pleased, you can never be satisfied, all your man's effort is met with lack of appreciation, please resolve to change today. Even God himself, when we want to pray, we know that we want to ask God for something, But how do we start? You are the King of Kings, the Rock of Ages, the El Shaddai, the Omnipotent, the Omniscient. We praise him, we ginger him. His head will be swelling. By the time we finish pouring all these accolades on God, then we now say, hey, God, help me, do this for me, do that for me. That is to tell you that even God values appreciation. He values it so much that he says that if you do not praise him, he will tell what? He will lift stones to praise him. That is how much he values appreciation. So if you're a woman watching me, that all you give your man is complaints, criticism, wahala, change your ways. My kings, my queens, we all know the major strains in our homes, the stressors. Make a conscious decision today to amend your ways. If not for anything, for those children that didn't ask to be born from that marriage. So, just like most problems, when not removed from the roots, within a short time, the stems and leaves were out once again. And on the 18th of January 2024, Mabel took to social media to cry out like she has never done in the past. And she said, I have been abused mentally and all around for way too long, and I have had enough. The threat to my life is actually getting out of hand, and if anything happens to me, there is just one person to be held responsible. I'm headed to the police station. People couldn't believe their eyes and their ears. They were like, has he gotten to this stage of threatening life and going to the police station? Well, ladies and gentlemen, on the 8th of April, just 3 months after Mabel's outcry, AY took to social media to announce that his marriage with Mabel, his ride and die, or is it ride or die woman of over 2 decades, mother of his children, has finally hit the rocks. And he released a statement, but there is one line I want someone in the comment section to help me interpret, because I'm just a bit confused. There was this line in that statement. He said, yes, without compromising my family, I have found myself doing some things that I am not proud of today. And I'm a bit confused about this one. I have found myself doing, or I have done. When I tell people that the action sometimes is not what causes the marriage to break, it is the attitude of the person that hurts you. I have found myself, as if it was, it almost sounds like something that was engineered by gravity, a force of gravity, or something out of his control. I have found myself doing some things that I am not proud of today. Some people say that when a Nigerian man, when a man starts saying, I've done things that I am not proud of, it points to one direction. And it's almost being justified by saying, without compromising my family, meaning, yes, I did do away match, but I still protect myself. I no compromise. I still held my family down. I still maybe provided for them. That is the aura that this message is oozing. Let me know down in the comment section what you think about this. Yes, without compromising my family, I have found myself doing things that I am not proud of. Let me know what these things could be down in the comment section. Mabel also released a statement confirming the split and responding to AY's very long rant. She said, distance is my new response to disrespect. I don't react, I don't argue, I don't dive into the drama. I simply remove myself. She has now reverted to her maiden name. Well, 2 years after this public breakup, Mabel has now been seen close to and arm in arm with another man. a guy called Idris. Now, Idris is a divorcee. He is a politician, a senior special assistant to the Lagos State Governor, I think on entertainment or media, something like that. He was there at her mother's funeral last year and also at her 40th birthday last month to show his full support. Now, while some people have rejected Mabel's decision to move on with this new guy, questioning her certainty of this new guy's fidelity, some others have asked that she be left alone, as she is the only one that knows her experience and went through it. This other set of people who sided with Mabel argue that when a woman leaves her marriage due to heartache and infidelity, fidelity or happily ever after may not even be her focus when she decides to move on with a new relationship. As a matter of fact, her expectations, the expectations that she would have from the new relationship, can never be like what she had with the man that she started life with. That she has dealt with years of emotional injury, dealt with loss of trust after repeated betrayal, and now she is not after rainbows and butterflies. She is just taking life one step at a time, attempting to reclaim her dignity, peace, and self-worth. What are your thoughts on this? Let us get them down in the comment section. Well, where this new relationship leads to, we may never know and we can never tell. But we do wish Mabel and AY all the very best as they sojourn with their lives individually. That is the true life story of one of Africa's most successful comedians and entertainers, AY and Mabel, and his now ex-wife, Mabel Wanebo. Let us share our thoughts and our take home from this true life story. So guys, yes, we have come to the end of today's video. If you're new here, you are seeing my face for the first time, or if you've been watching without subscribing, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, give this video a big thumbs up, drop all your thoughts down in the comment section, grab a copy of our book, The Unbroken Spirit. You do not have to wait to be broken to receive healing. It is a must read for singles and married, and it will teach you a lot around the subject of marriage, relationships, abuse, self-worth, self-building, and emotional stamina. Grab a copy by scanning this code or clicking the link down below. It's me, your girl Barrister Neze, and this is Nezeville. I'll see you guys in our next one. For now, bye.